Hey mga Filipino MSMEs! It's me, Dennis Velasco, CEO of Prosperna.com. So what do Philippine micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises need to know about the Department of Trade and Industry's 2022 e-commerce roadmap? So ito na, more news and insights on digital empowerment for MSMEs just like you. So are you ready?
Hi everyone, I'm Anika and with me is Prosperna CEO Dennis Velasco. Today we'll be exploring what Philippine MSMEs need to know about the Philippine DTI 2022 e-commerce roadmap. So Dennis, welcome back. How are you doing? With 2021 in full swing, siguro busy kayo.
Yeah, hey Annika and hey Prosper Nation. Great to see you. And yeah, the start to the new year has been pretty amazing. And I would say even more so for the Philippine MSMEs out there. You know, I can't help but see right in front of our eyes that the 1.5 million registered MSMEs out there are actually rapidly evolving and adapting to the new digital transformation of how consumers and the business world are really evolving and adapting to. So it's just exciting to see, you know, for our country and, you know, to see this kind of acceleration when it comes to digital transformation. So good stuff.
Well, hearing about it sounds super exciting and for the Philippines especially. Pero much of this is new for MSMEs and it seems the Philippine government is getting more involved as well. So let's start by what is the Philippine DTI 2022 e-commerce roadmap?
Yeah, let's start with the basics. And it's really a plan, right? Around mid-year of 2020, just a few months back, the DTI Assistant Secretary, Ms. Jean Pacheco, she said that the department is crafting this e-commerce roadmap. And this roadmap and its aim is to really focus on improving access for MSMEs in our country. It's aimed to help prepare them for the digital transformation. And if you break it down even deeper, it's really designed to help the entire logistical cycle to make it more efficient and really lower in cost for how consumers, MSMEs, and platforms all operate together by integrating all of this. And I believe, and I think everybody would probably agree with me, that the reason why they're doing this is because COVID-19 has been a huge accelerator for the need to adopt to technology and online transactions in the Philippines, which has traditionally been a little bit of old school, right? If you look at, you know, there was some research or an article that the DTI had posted, and within a couple of months, they had about almost 70,000, I think it was 68 something thousand new online retail registrations, right? Compared to in the past, you know, they were getting 1,600 registrations per month. So that's pretty significant. And now if you take COVID and put that aside, e-commerce on its own right in the Philippines was scheduled to grow at 5x in the next 5 years to be a $25 billion value of total transactions. So with this kind of growth, it's really important for the government to play a special role, right, in supporting the consumer, the businesses, and the platforms that bring all this together, right?
That's amazing. I mean, wow. Like talagang maraming MSMEs na nag-online selling. Because to be honest, with me, I like online buying as well rather than yeah. So Dennis, that brings us to the question, what's inside the DTI's e-commerce roadmap?
Yeah, it's actually pretty comprehensive, and it's over 40, I think 43 pages long. And if it helps, I'll put the link to the document in the comments of our interview. But that way we make it easy for everybody to find. But overall, it's supposed to cover what our country needs between 2021 and 2022 in order to be successful, right? In order to thrive, and in order to, as some people say, bounce back, right? And it's addressing these three major elements. Number one, security. Number two, speed. We all know that can be an issue. And then number three, it's really structured to cover the process, right, of what will drive more sales for MSMEs. And so, yeah, that's what's really interesting. The DTI really wants to see better measurable results for the small to medium and micro businesses out there. So I think it's pretty cool that they put this together. So in my eyes, that's how it's structured.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, for someone with a lot of experience, with digital transformation in the US and from helping thousands of MSMEs here in the Philippines, what would you say are the top 4 things that Philippine MSMEs should know about the DTI 2022 e-commerce roadmap?
Yeah, so 4. There's dozens and dozens, but maybe let's boil it down like this. So number 1, I really believe that the DTI wants to help create an environment of online trust. So that's point number 1. And that's what really resonates when you read this document. So there are a lot of policies being explored. A couple of the policies that really stood out to me were, number 1, trying to create a facility where there's stronger or more consistent processes, or perhaps a mechanism to handle consumer and equally merchant complaints. So think about it. A marketplace has many sides, right? Certainly we need to support the consumers, but at the same time, you have to equally support the merchants and the platform so that they're all working together in a fair and equal playing field that promotes trust, security, as they were saying earlier, right? So that's one of the policies that they're really trying to explore, which is to figure out how do we create more trust, right? Number 2, transparent and I guess more accurate product information is a policy that they're trying to figure out, right? Because there's always too many fake products, fake news, fake claims by maybe not so legit companies. And that's not good for anybody. So they're looking at exploring different policies to ensure that there's more specific, accurate labeling on products and companies. So they're basically not misrepresenting what they're selling, right? So a lot of these are basics, but these are really key things that need to be put in place.
That's true. I mean, that's so good to hear, because with my personal experience, there's a lot of online sellers that are very sketchy. It's like, I want to buy from them because I found the thing that I want, they're selling it, but I withdraw from buying because, first of all, their website don't seem legit, or, it's just, there's a lot of sketchy stuff going on, and that pulls the industry down kasi sama-sama na sila. It's online, diba? So ayoko ng ganung experience, and ayoko din maloko.
Yeah, no, I agree. And communicating with online sellers these days, it can be a cluster, right? It's so malabo, right? And a lot of times, you find a lot of bait being put out there, and sadly, whenever there's too much bait, there comes some switch into it, and people are switching what they're really representing that's available and for sale. So it can be a mess. But that's a great segue to point number 2, which is I think that the DTI is working really hard on trying to create awareness, provide training, and even give more resources and workshops to digitally enable MSMEs in the Philippines so that they can be more successful. So that was one of the big takeaways that I saw, because there was a whole section on different initiatives to provide more resources to our community.
Right. So where's an easy place to, get information and training and structured help and assistance from the DTI?
Yeah, that's one of the cool things, right? When I looked at this document and I just started absorbing it, the DTI, a government institution, they're even adopting to technology. So instead of a consumer or a merchant having to go to their local DTI location just to get some help or get some questions, the DTI even created a simple Viber community, right? That's supported and monitored by them, right? That you can simply join and just ask questions and collaborate and maybe make some new business connections. So maybe it'll be a good idea, and we'll put the QR code for that Viber group, and we can all share our voice directly with the DTI on how to improve, the e-commerce playing field. And of course, there's Facebook. So they put out a pretty consistent set of communication on the DTI Facebook page. They've got a specific page just for e-commerce. So if you go to facebook.com/DTI.ecommerce, you can get updates on what's happening in the e-commerce world for MSMEs. So yeah.
Oh, galing. I mean, pati yung government is very involved. I mean, the agencies like DTI, they're online na rin.
Definitely. And that really brings me to point number 3. The DTI does want to play a voice for digital consumers, digital merchants, and even the platforms like Prosperna, right? So what they're trying to do is increase the speed of reliable and affordable internet. They want to broaden internet access so it's more accessible, more affordable for not just Metro Manila, but of course all of our islands around us and the different regions, right? And so I also saw some mention about trying to address the need to increase some of the broadband towers, right? And encouraging investments from the private business sector. So all of this, Annika, this is all in response to the massive digital demand in our country, right? To go online.
I like it when you said affordable internet.
Yeah.
Everyone is online all the time. I mean, so that's what the DTI is trying to do. What about the MSMEs? What are they trying to do? Or what can they do?
Yeah, and that's, I guess, point number 4. And last but not least, as consumers, as merchants, and for all those software platforms out there, the likes of Prosperna, we've all got to take our share of action, right? Everybody plays a role in making the e-commerce environment more successful, right? If one merchant, if one consumer, if many platforms win, we all win. So when I read the DTI 2022 e-commerce roadmap, it's very comprehensive, but the real question is, how well can the DTI, how well can consumers, how well can merchants, and how well can software platforms actually execute on trust, on building their brand, right? On sharing their voice on how we can improve the entire community. So as a startup leader myself, the only way to execute is to not be afraid, to take action. And as we say in the agile world of business methodologies, just take small steps and then iterate quickly and rapidly over time, because no one can afford to wait, right? You can't wait for everything to be set up for you. Life and business just moves way too fast, right? And think about it. Are you gonna wait for someone to create a Facebook page for you, right? Don't wait for someone to create your online store. Don't wait for the government to set up broadband towers. Don't wait for someone else to create content for you to improve your online brand, right? Results happen with an accumulation of many small, and let me repeat, many small consistent steps, right? So if you are an MSME out there and you can't figure it out, come to Prosperna, come to me. I mean, I'll help you personally, right? I mean, I'm just super lucky that I get to do, you know, what I really love, and that's help empower MSMEs with the type of technology that I've seen help other countries and other companies. And, you know, to me, the bottom line is if an SME waits, they're just going to make themselves obsolete. If a large company waits and takes too long, there's going to be an SME behind them, right, that overtakes their industry. But for MSMEs that are out there that act and take these opportunities, the results could be huge. You know, kasi lahat ng consumers nasa online na. No doubt.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. That's all good stuff, Dennis, and that's very informative. Okay, Prosper Nation, there you go. To summarize, the DTI 2022 e-commerce roadmap is for number 1, creating trust in an online environment is the key. Number 2, offering awareness, training, and resources for digital enablement. 3, DTI is here to support the voice of digital consumer, merchants, and e-commerce platforms. And then 4th, the time for consumers and merchants to take action is now. So stay tuned to Prosperna for more information about small to medium-sized business trends and tips on how to grow your business. And for more advice on how to leverage e-commerce software to grow your business, book a free demo with us at www.prosperna.com. Also, please click the subscribe button down below and hit the bell for instant notifications. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Thank you, Dennis, and thank you, everyone.
Go Prosper Nation!
Go Prosper Nation!